Today I'm going to talk about these two different units. They're both handheld thermal monoculars, and I'm going to compare them side by side. So starting off, I've got the Pulsar Helion 2 Pro XP50, and I've used this the last several years. I've always had Pulsar as my primary monocular while coyote hunting, and it's never let me down. It's been a great unit. But lately I've been seeing a lot of videos and really good clarity coming out of the Infiray line. So we got one of these on hand. This is the Infiray Eye E6 Plus V3, and they're both very comparable units. So I wanted to see what they were like actually side by side out in the field. And here in central Illinois, dead of summer, it is not the ideal conditions to be testing thermals. It's 70 degrees is the lows, high humidity. Everything you're going to see in this video is probably the worst conditions and the worst these units are going to look all year round. Once the temps drop, late fall and into the winter, whenever we're coyote hunting, I expect the clarity from both units to be even a lot better. But starting off with some of the pros and cons, starting with the Infiray, I have messed with all the lighting, contrast, image sharpness. I played with those settings quite a bit, and there's several times where I feel like if I'm looking at the far tree line, if you've got your animal in the center of the frame, if you aim up and use the bottom third of your screen, or aim down and use the top third of your screen, it auto calibrates, the brightness and how the image looks in there. And with the Infiray, I feel like 9 times out of 10 it's always too dark, or it just doesn't calibrate it as smoothly as the Pulsar does. There's several times where I'm using Pulsar, and you can see even these trees behind me. I did several tests back here in the backyard. All these tree trunks, you should be able to see all these fruit trees, plus the trees in the background. Everything should be visible or look good from beginning to end. There were some cows that I stopped and recorded on the side of the road, and it was a different evening, a lot cooler weather, and I thought they looked crystal clear. They were only probably 50 to 75 yards away, and I was actually impressed with the Infiray because the color differentiation on the actual cow, it wasn't like the cow was just black hot or just white hot. The whole animal was one color. You could see the different shades of gray or white and black. You could see a big difference throughout end to end on throughout the cow, which actually looked better than Pulsar. So there has been certain areas that the Infiray has shined, and I feel that is the closer they are, definitely 100 yards and in, there is definitely great quality with this unit. Beyond that, I know there's a couple times I tried recording some deer 300-400 yards out. I couldn't even tell they were deer, where the Pulsar you definitely could. So I wish I had a little bit more time to play with it, play with the settings. Some of the color and all that could be just in the settings, but what I've seen so far, the Infiray lacks on the quality the further you get out. The price point on these, I think, is another big thing. The Infiray is right around $3,000 and the Pulsar is around $4,000. So for what you're getting and saving $1,000, it's definitely a good unit. I would say it's more for the beginner, or it's a beginner's unit. Another thing with these units, they each offer several different color palettes. I like to stick with black hot or white hot. I think once you get all those extra colors, those are, you know, more of a hindrance and, you know, harder on the eyes than just using black hot or white hot. But they both offer several different color palettes. How user friendly they are and how the buttons work, I think they're both very comparable. They both have onboard recording and pictures. All in all, for the price, the Infiray is definitely a good buy, but I would say it just doesn't quite compete with the Pulsar, which is a more expensive unit.